Thanks for tuning in to Movie and a Model Snack Review. Oh, well, I didn't even know the car was on.
I thought that was like background
Right.
music.
I was like, what?
And that's the intro.
All right, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Movie and a Model. Today we have model Nadia Quezada.
How are you guys?
Good. Thanks a lot for coming on to the show today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here and I'm excited to see Gem.
Uncut. We're actually going to see Uncut Gems today. It's a new movie with Adam Sandler. It's been getting pretty good reviews, so I went to check it out. So I brought up Nadia, and we're just gonna check it out. Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Absolutely. Oh, so Nadia, what exactly do you do? Do you modeling, acting? What's been going on?
I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I started modeling when I was 14, and then slowly but surely I started getting into the commercial world through modeling, and I took some courses for acting, and so now I'm kind of shifting into acting. I do have experience hosting, which randomly through modeling I also got to do. But my main forte or my dream is to be an actor.
Okay, nice. Awesome. Okay, so Nadia, in the modeling world, what's been one of the best jobs that you got to work?
Well, there's a ton actually. One of my favorite when I was super young, I got to do this grand opening of Palacio del Hierro, which is probably like Saks Fifth Avenue. It's like the equal back in Mexico, and one of Mexico's favorite singers, Luis Miguel, was singing at that event. So the event was just like a huge grand event, and I was super excited to be there. But yeah, one of those, and then maybe here. Let's see. I did a featured model in a movie called The Beach Bum, where I got to meet Zac Efron and Matthew McConaughey.
Hey!
All right.
So, Nadia, what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
I love The Wedding Singer. I think probably The Wedding Singer would probably be one of my favorite. And let's see. I think that's my favorite. Yeah.
The Wedding Singer is a really good movie.
Yeah, it's like a classic.
It's so funny.
It's so nicely done, like the dating, like everything's in the 80s, like everything's done really, really well, and I just love it. And it's so hilarious.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite things actually is always like the relationship between Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I love that couple. Like they're just hilarious.
They're like the best. Like, and there's like this I guess it was on Tonight Show, I want to say. And he like surprises her with a song. They have both of them on there. I guess when they were doing for the premiere of Blended.
Oh, really?
He did a song and he like sings that song that he sung to her on the plane.
Oh yeah.
Make you smile.
Yeah.
Whenever you're sad.
So it was when you see it, it's like the saddest thing ever. Yeah, I'm probably, for those of you guys who haven't seen that, I'm gonna put a link below this video.
Yeah.
And definitely.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I want to see that. Actually.
Yeah, check it out. It's like one of the coolest things ever. When you see it, you're gonna like all girls gonna cry and all that type of stuff. It's really good though.
I think that was like one of like the most epic moments, like in general of like his career, like where he starts singing it. I think that's where like everybody kind of just fell in love with like Adam Sandler.
Absolutely.
And Drew Barrymore.
Absolutely, such great characters. So I'm really excited to see the movie today.
I'm excited.
Yes, but before we see this movie, let's grab a snack. We'll figure out what her favorite snack is, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's do it.
See you guys in a sec. What was your snack of choice?
Snack of choice, protein shake.
Nice.
From a place called Navarra Juice Bar. Yeah.
Sweet. I got mine's is actually the berry I
I think you got the berry antioxidant.
Whoa.
I know more than you.
Really good. What was yours?
I got the peanut butter and banana, but I added a vegan protein shot and some acai in it, so it tastes pretty good.
It does.
Yeah, and healthy.
Oh, it hits.
It's rocking.
It's rocking.
I love it.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to slide in this movie.
Yep. It's
And
almost time.
almost time. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I can't wait to see. I haven't been in the movies for a while.
Okay, great.
So that's like my favorite hobby. So right now, I'm excited to go see it.
This and I think that's what I do the show for, to take people to the movies who don't go to the movies all the time. That's always good.
You're doing me a favor. I'm doing you a favor.
Yes.
So it just works out.
It just works out. Awesome. All right, so we'll see you guys in a sec.
Let's do it.
Peace.
Hey guys, my name is Nadia Quezada, and this is Movie and a Model. We're about to see Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems.
Two hours later.
I'm like, let's take a minute, like, just to regroup.
Okay.
That was intense, guys.
It was nuts.
That was so intense.
We just seen.
I think I'm sweating. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sweating. It was okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So guys, we just watched the movie. Just in case it's on part 3 of this video, we just watched Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, and yo, that was freaking crazy.
I thought I was gonna have like a heart attack, a panic attack, all put together,
Yo.
rolled up in one.
Yeah, she was in the theater. She's like, I just hear, oh.
I was so into it. I had to like put my seat up front and be like, oh, like I was about literally to have like a heart attack.
Yeah, it was really nuts. It was a great movie for like a great gambling movie.
Yeah.
And it took you on a roller coaster. Super
Yeah, for
roller
sure.
coaster. Adam Sandler was amazing.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, and now I think I'm even a bigger fan because of this movie. He definitely brought the house down as far as his role and his character. He did such a good job at it, and I just I was blown away. Like he's actually a really good actor, and this is something different than what he's usually done. Like he's always done comedy. He slipped in a little bit of comedic. You know, there were a couple little jokes that were, but it was a real character, and I think he really did it very, very
I think
well.
you were really deep in character on this too. Like he was that guy. You know what I mean?
He was that guy, and I think it's a role that he can probably relate to because
Yeah,
the guy was like a Jewish jeweler.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's met some of these people, and there is a part where like they're actually having dinner, and it's like a Jewish dinner, you know. So like I think he can definitely relate to this character, which is probably the reason why he chose this role. You know, it's a great fit for him, and I think he did a really good job at it.
Absolutely. I felt like there was so many different stories that were going in that were really cool. So we have Kevin Garnett in this. The Kevin Garnett story was really cool, especially because it really touched on to like the actual basketball games that were going on. Because during that year, I think it's like 2009 is when they actually did go to the championship.
Oh, okay.
So they used like a lot of that stuff in the movie. So it was really cool to see that. And and then the Weeknd actually popped up in the movie.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. And he was
that
singing so smoothly. His voice is just amazing, and I like that scene how they just changed the tone, and it brought you somewhere else completely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it did take you through a roller coaster and to different areas and feelings. You know, yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, and for I definitely think. Do you think this movie is worth seeing in theaters?
I mean, I do want to like be blunt and honest that like what to expect. I definitely did not expect this at all. Like when I saw the trailer, I wasn't too sure about Adam Sandler taking on like a real character acting role, but definitely I think it's so different than what everybody's gonna expect. It is worth seeing. It's just not what you expect.
It's definitely not what you
it's
expect.
not what you think you're gonna see.
No.
So yeah, hang on tight and oh my god, just breathe in between scenes,
Right.
because it is a little bit It's a little bit crazy, yeah.
It's not many times where these days, especially, where you see a movie that is better than the trailer. So
Yeah,
so
for
this
sure.
trailer was like cool, but the movie was like really, really good.
Yeah, they got me. They got me. I did not expect this in
Yeah.
the trailer, and I think that's kind of like what makes it a good movie. That everybody thinks it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, and it's not that at all. Like they get you and they really pull you into the story, and you're really feeling for this character. You're rooting for this character. You want him to
Yeah.
win, and it's like it really gets you, and then it just takes you to another
Yeah.
completely state. So I don't know
Absolutely.
even what to think about it, but it's intense.
It definitely makes you feel something. You didn't feel anything. You gonna feeling some type of way when you leave.
Yeah,
the
you're
theater.
definitely gonna be like on the edge of your seat. You're gonna be like, oh my god, how is this gonna end? It's gonna pull you. It's gonna definitely pull you in.
Absolutely. So now that we got those feelings out of the way, I'm just gonna have to say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your?
Okay, well, I do want to explain some
Okay,
things
sweet.
because there were some parts at the beginning that I was kind of like, what is going on here? You know, there was. Should I talk? Is it okay like to talk about something? I don't want to give it away.
You don't have to give it away, but you can
Yeah.
just talk around it, or
Okay.
We don't want to ruin the movie for everyone.
There's a couple of things that I was like, what is going on here? And I wasn't too sure about. But you know what? As a whole, it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. And just for that, I would probably give it like a high score. I would probably give it an 8 because it was not what I expected. It was totally intense, and it made me kind of just live other things, like not just like the typical story, you know. It's just a different take on like other. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's intense and it's cool, and I give it an 8.
Yeah.
1 out of 10. I'll give it an 8.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'll probably right around there also. Probably an 8, maybe 8.5. I just felt like it was really well done. Like it made me feel like one of those the way it was written and so much storyline. It felt like a really good quality movies. I'm trying to think of like one of these movies, like if you're watching Below or one of these mob movies, just the way the storylines are all kind of like lined up, and it was like a lot of stories jammed in this 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I really felt like it was a really quality movie, and I felt like it would do really good in film festivals. And that's how I felt. Like it felt like it wasn't too Hollywood, but it was also like a really good
It's
film.
just different from everything that you've seen. It's totally unexpected. It's a real story. It's a real role. It's a real character, and you get pulled into his world, you know, of being a jeweler and all that. Like, you know, who would want to see a movie of a jeweler? It kind of sounds like an
Exactly.
ordinary like life, but he made it so good that like it just pulls you into whatever he's going through, and you're just stressing with him, and you want him to win, and it's just crazy.
And the thing is, for people who are like gamblers, it's probably it takes you down that gambling
emotional roller coaster.
And you're
Yeah,
just like
definitely.
you by the end of this movie you feel like you've been gambling the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a sports fan too, you know.
Right.
Like I feel like now I know that like what people go through, like the bets and everything. I never knew like all this could happen, you know, behind the scenes of sport betting and all that. Like I would never think, because I don't really kind of watch too much sports, but now I know there's a lot more to it. Like there's all these kind of things going on like behind the scenes.
Yeah. Pretty freaking amazing. So I'm giving it an 8.5. She's giving it an 8.
8.
And it was definitely a 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, I'm your fan.
Yeah,
We love you, Adam
yeah,
Sandler.
Adam did his thing in this movie. So I would definitely say recommend, go see it before it leaves theaters. And okay, so Before we end this, how could people follow you online?
Okay, so don't forget to follow me, Nadia Quezada. So you'll find me on Instagram, Nadia, and we'll put
Yeah, it's gonna be right along
below.
there. Yeah. It'll be right there. They'll see
and
it.
you can also sign up on my YouTube channel, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you there.
Sweet, awesome. Peace.
Peace.